This shit getting on my nerves. How you guys doing? I got a class this morning, so I've been on here the second time with my baking soda on my face. But check me though. I uh I can't wait to get dressed and then do all that extra shit and get cute and shit and get on. I got something to say. This is Square Biz. Square Biz. Square Biz. I'm pretty ticked this morning. I'm ticked. I'm tipped. I'm ripped. I'm telling you. Check me. Let me go back up in here. I just got through going to the store. Oh shit! What the fuck I do with my Yes, I go to the store just like this because I don't want to be bothered. I do. I go to the store, go do my grocery shopping just like this because I do not want to be bothered. Okay? For real. Get tired of being talked to. What's up? Get tired of that shit. Check me. Welcome, everybody. I'm welcome to Daily Dose Food for Your Soul. Okay, we're going to read. I'm going to give you guys some tips real quick, and then we're going to get into the conversation I want to talk about. Okay? Real quickly. So to overcome this era of advanced souls, this is about your battle for your soul. To overcome this era of advanced souls will be asked to incarnate into human form, then live amongst man and woman to become man and woman, and then attempt to wake up. Remember, their sovereign origins and created change in the human collective consciousness from within, right? Truth then would ripple outward from each advanced soul's awakening heart. Okay, awakening heart, stimulating and then leaving the hearts of those around them. So when you're around an advanced soul or somebody that's conscious, there we go with the beeps. When you're around somebody that's conscious and you're around advanced soul, that's gonna heal you. That's gonna make you whole. That's just how it works. It was anticipated that each awakening soul would be met with great resistance by the dark side, right? And that many, perhaps all, might be lost in the battle. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay? So Father knew that each person that tries to awaken is going to be met with great resistance from the dark side. And many perhaps might be all lost in battle. Okay? It's using that word again. Might be all lost in battle within the realms of free will. Okay? It's that will again, that free will they're talking about. They're talking about that free will. Right? That free will that would change your will. It's either if you're supposed to go north, lost in the battle, losing the battle, you're supposed to go north and your ass go east. It's just like when you on a freeway, right? You feel what I'm saying? One time I got lost and went right into KKKs. You feel me? No lie. And knock on wood, they was having a ceremony that day. My friend would tell you knock on wood. I came down that little thing down the street where they was doing their little whooping signs. I said, "Excuse me, sir." Sure did. Which way can I get out of here? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I ain't lying with his hood on. Right, just go turn around and just go right back out. Thank you. Fuck up out of here. Shit. I'm serious. Excuse the beeps, you guys. I don't know why else that's happening, but still a greater probability was that any progress would at first be slow. But the same way that a dripping tap will fill a bucket, truth would awaken in the hearts of men and women, drop by drop, until an ocean of enlightenment swept around the planet, moving the human collective consciousness out of the reaches of darkness once and for all, right? It was a grand plan, and each of the elders confirmed their agreement, right? No sooner had they agreed than the energy of acceptance and commitment reverberated back to their respective home and world consciousness. And those who were significant evolution in their own journey back to source, Father, fire, Joshua, whatever you believe in, were asked to take a slight or perhaps significant detour. Of course, coming to Earth does have some advantages. Most incarnations on planetary home world were those outside the quarantine zone. Now check this out. We're going to leave it right there. Let me skip down here real quick. Now, of course, the risk to those who would answer the call weighed heavily on the council members. I'm going to need y'all to go over your emerald tablets, man. Where's my coffee at? Okay? If advanced souls became bedazzled, we're going to stop right there. Let me get my coffee. Bedazzled. What we talking about? Bedazzled of the world. Bedazzled. Bedazzled by finances, men, sex, lying, killing, hustling. That's bedazzled. You guys, I gotta ground myself. Coffee on top of the damn car. Listen when I got this information. So bedazzle, so that's what bedazzle mean, okay? Now check this out. This is what I want to talk about the square biz. Now you know how we got all our ladies missing. You got black women missing. I don't give a damn. 16, 17. We got that they commit suicides, right? I want y'all to keep up. Then we got them dying on the plastic surgery table, right? Certain women, because some of these doctors that's not licensed then did a lot of women, and they came out fine. But then when they get to a particular certain woman, right, she ended up dying. I mean, it could come to it could when they go out of the jurisdiction of the United States to get these things done, it could be they're not telling the doctor some things and all that, and they prepare. But check me, right? We got my Felicia Johnson. She's missing, right? Let's talk about that. Felicia Johnson is missing. Felicia Johnson is only what? I think, how old is that baby? I forgot how old she was. 24 to 27? But she has a perfect uterus, right? Okay. She has a perfect uterus, don't she? Right? Mm-hmm. If you notice, the girls that are missing from the college campuses, the ladies that are missing, look at what they're doing. Father gave me this shit last night. I've been pissed. He gave me this square biz last night. They are snatching up the women for their uterus. You know how much it costs? You know how much money they can make off a uterus? Just like they have on the black market, harvesting organs. You know, we done heard about that shit. Kidneys and shit, right? Nah, man. I'm telling you, they're taking these women, they're taking their uterus. It costs $25,000 for a man to buy a uterus and insert it into him. This is how the transgenders are having babies. They got to get this uterus from some goddamn where. They're not artificial. They're not artificial. You know how much money you can make? $25,000 for each uterus, right? You snatching up 5 uteruses a day. You snatching up 10 uteruses a day, and they paying you. These overseas doctors are paying you, okay? Because look who's doing most of the uterus transplants. Where the hell they getting these uterus from? So, you know, on our driver's license, we have what's it called? Organ donor, right? Okay. I guarantee you, when you have organ donor, what they're not saying is they taking out the motherfucking uteruses. Okay, they're taking out the uterus. This is what's going on. We're so stuck on sex trafficking. Yeah, uterus is on top of the black market list right now. Wombs are on top of the black market list right now. They need wombs. They need the uterus because you got a lot of transgender men that want to have babies now. So they want to change it. So what they're doing is, how do you get the shit? Which I wait till somebody die. I mean, I'm just a question. How are they getting the uteruses to put in the transgenders? How are they getting it? Where is it coming from? Like Cat Williams, I'll wait. Where is it coming from? So I'm gonna need y'all to watch yourselves for real. Where's the uterus coming from, man? And if you look at the statistics, everybody's getting snatched up. One girl, she had 4 babies. She went to the store to go get. I would start registering. I'm serious. I would get so tight on my shit if y'all was y'all. I would start registering my baby showers, all that shit. Damn it. I mean, come on. All of a sudden, she has to run out to the store to get something. Something came up. Shit, we all have done that with our kids. Damn, I gotta go get shit. Y'all love some his favorite peanut butter because he don't like Jif, nigga. He like Skippy. You know, shit like that. You know what I mean? I'll be back. That's exactly how these things is happening. Women are planning trips to go somewhere. These are exactly how these things are happening. They taking the uteruses, man. Pop go to Weasel. Okay? That's what the fuck they doing with that shit. What did I write down on here? Oh my God. I mean, they're taking the uteruses. Literally. Okay, so let's get to this other one. Now listen. Now responsibility. We're going to talk about responsible. A responsible choice is a choice that takes into account the consequences of each of your choices. In order to make a responsible choice, you must ask yourself. So we're talking about your soul, how to cultivate the soul. For each choice that you're considering, what will this produce? Do I really want to create that? Am I ready to accept all of the consequences of this choice? Project yourself into a probability future that will unfold with each choice that you are considering, right? Or you become conscious of the different parts of your personality. You become able to experience consciously the forces within you that compete for expression, that lie claim to single intention that will be yours to each moment. That will shape your reality. When you enter the dynamics consciously, you create for yourself the ability to choose consciously among the forces within you, to choose where and how you will focus your energy. The choice not to choose is the choice to remain unconscious. That's what it says. The choice not to choose is the choice to remain unconscious, okay? Therefore, to willpower irresponsibly, awareness of the splinter personality of its need for integration brings with the need for conscious choice. Now let's jump back over here. Considering to this not with the energy of intention, but simply to test the water to get the feel for that what are you considering creating, right? See how you feel. Ask yourself. Now listen, let's jump down here. Only through responsible choice can you choose consciously to cultivate and nourish the needs of your soul and to challenge and release the wants of your personality. This is the choice of clarity and wisdom, the choice of consciousness and transformation. It is the choice of the higher frequency energy currents of love, forgiveness, and compassion. It is the choice to follow the voice of your higher self, your soul. It is the decision to open yourself to the guidance, assistance of your guides and teachers, because we all have them. We all have them. You just forgot. It is the path that leads consciously to authentic power. How does this happen? You may be aware that deceiving another person is not in alignment with your soul, but decide to do that anyway in order to gain a profit or save a relationship that you are not yet ready to lose. Okay? You may know that the path of compassion is to share your thoughts and actions, and yet you decide not to share them because you think that would cost you money or your security. When you choose the energy of your soul, when you choose to create with the intentions of love, okay, forgiveness and humbleness and clarity, you will gain power. When you choose to learn through wisdom, you gain power. When you choose to create with the energy of your personality, with anger, that's the personality, anger, jealousy, or fear, when you choose to learn through fear and doubt, right, you lose power, okay? So when you choose to create with energy of your personality, with anger, jealousy, or fear, when you choose to learn through fear and doubt, you lose power. You gain or lose power. Therefore, according to the choices you make. The personality is interesting in itself. It likes thrills, so to speak. It is not necessarily responsible, nor caring, nor loving. The soul is the energy of the universal love, wisdom, and compassion. It creates with these energies. The personality understands power as external. It proceeds in terms of competition, threats, and gains and losses that are measured against those of others. That's what the personality does. Okay? So when I tell you, you guys, you need to get into, and excuse my language, who gives a fuck energy. You have to get into that who gives a fuck energy. You're black, who gives a fuck? You're gay, who gives a fuck? You're fat, who gives a fuck? Energy. You're ugly, who gives a fuck? You live in the hood. Do you understand who gives a fuck energy? You have to get into that energy. Who gives a fuck? You got one ear, one nose, who gives a fuck? You're fat, who gives a fuck? You better be happy with your flappies. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Cause I'm sure gonna be Jones about my bones. Do you understand? Okay? Stay your asses off them tables, off that plastic surgery tables. If you can't afford to get your ass done or your boobs done in the US of A, then you don't need to have it done then. You don't need to have it done. Look at the trash man looking at me. What you looking at? You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, be happy with your flappy, baby, because I'm Jones about my bones, baby. And I'm telling you right there. All right? So, when you choose to create, so when you don't make a choice, because you have to, I'm going to have to, hold on, you guys. They doing too much. Oh, they gone. So, when okay, so we all have flaws and splinter in our personalities, what we're saying, right? So when you don't choose to cultivate one of those, that means that you're unconscious, basically. You have to choose. So what you do is you choose what you want to lose with yourself, and you choose what you want to cultivate within yourself, if it makes sense. So if you want to cultivate more humbleness and more forgiveness and more love and compassion for those and others, you cultivate that. That's where you put your energy at, and that's what you take your attention to and you focus on. But you have to make a choice for you. So it's not about making choices in men and women and twin flames and all that old bullshit. It's about cultivating your soul. Because I tell you, your spark starts in the dark, right? That's what it's about. So if you choose not to cultivate, okay, you're unconscious. So most people don't know they're cultivating more fear, jealousy, anger, and judgment. That's when you lose power by the hour. When you decide to turn your attention and cultivate forgiveness, love, and compassion and understanding, staying out of non-judgment of shit, right? Not using people, right? You gain more power. Okay? If that makes sense. Because we all have splinter personalities. We all have a splinter personality. We all have it. So when I tell you, you have to get into I don't give a fuck energy, because if you don't, you all things for when people talk about you or judge you or say you this and that, if you match that scratch and connect with that direct, man, you losing. You losing. So you have to gain I don't give a fuck attitude about a lot of things, man. You don't like me, who gives a fuck? You don't like where I live, who gives a fuck? You you think I'm ugly? Who gives a fuck? I'm fat? Who gives a fuck? You don't like my channel? Who gives a fuck? Energy. You don't like the way I speak? Who gives a fuck? Because when at the end of the day, you have to keep your mind off that vine to become divine. Okay? You have to raise your vibe in order to survive. Those things is to distract you and to track you. That's what those things are there for. That's why I'm saying you have to develop I don't give a fuck attitude energy. It's not an energy of you're cocky, but within yourself, you have to say to yourself, I don't give a fuck. You don't like me? I don't give a fuck. You want to leave? You lied to me. You tried to kill me. You did magic on me. I don't give a fuck. Because first of all, I'm not going to hold on to no resentment. That is hurting me if I hold on to the resentment with the fact you did. You got a lot of people out here who's doing rituals on motherfuckers. It's true. It ain't no lie, man. Spiritual hits, that's what I call them. Spiritual hitmen is out here. And these are people that you know that you grew up with and got close to. You see how that could distract you and track you? You see how that could it's not people that you don't know, my friend. The people that you don't know is the people they gained around to help them with this shit. With their spiritual hit. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, it may be your mama, your sister, your daughter, your uncle, your auntie, or your friend, or even your connect that you connected to, your soul connect. At the end of the day, that takes you, all that shit would take you and shift you. That would ship you, shape you. Okay? That shit would shift you, shape you, and shift you and then shit you. Do you understand? So you have to develop the attitude, I don't give a fuck. Because what can you do with I don't give a fuck energy? What can you do with it? Because anything you try to send over here, what's going to happen with this I don't give a fuck energy, it's just going to sit with you, man. And it's going to sit with you, and shape you, and shift you into cold blue. You understand? All right. So let's get back to it. Okay. So the personality is interested in itself. I just want to give you guys key pointers real quick. Okay, like I said, you may be aware of deceiving another person. It's not in your alignment with your soul, but decide to do it anyway in order to gain profit or save a relationship that you're not yet ready to lose. And that's a lot of things that's going on with these flames. They're not ready to lose that relationship, right? Okay, and it's not agreeing in alignment with their soul. You may know that path of the compassion is to share your thoughts and actions. You got a lot of people who are not sharing their thoughts and actions, and yet decide not to share them because you think that it will cost you money or your security, right? Okay. Phone is going off. Okay, responsibility. Temptation in the universe is a compassionate way of allowing you to run through what would be a harmful negative karmic dynamic if you were to allow it to become physical manifest. It is the energy through which your soul is given the gracious opportunity to have a dry run at a life lesson, at a situation that, if you can see clearly, can be removed and healed within the confines of your private world of energy and not spill into a larger energy field of other souls. Temptation is a dress rehearsal for karmic experience of negativity. The entire temptation is the compassionate way of allowing you to see your potential pitfalls, right? And cleanse yourself before you can affect the lives of others. It's a form of decoy in which the negativity is compassionately drawn from you. If you can see that before you create karma, as you respond to the decoy, you cleanse yourself by becoming aware and not having to actually live through the experience. You cleanse yourself without creating karma and interaction with other souls. How exquisite is temptation, right? I told you. The dark ones is here to tempt you so they can pimp you. They out here to tempt you so they can pimp you. Bedazzle you, then frazzle you. Seduce you and then reduce you. Okay, and then induce you, right? It is a magnet which draws your awareness to that which would create negative karma if it was allowed to remain unconscious. In other words, temptation is a thought form that is designed to draw possible negativity from the human energy system without harming others. The soul understands that. Left to its own device, it would operate completely within the human energy system without spilling over and contaminating the collective consciousness. Temptations are not traps. Each temptation is an opportunity through which the soul is able to learn without creating karma, to evolve directly through conscious choice. The dynamic of temptation is the energy of what might be thought of as the challenging dynamic of the human experience. As a Luciferian principle, it serves the purpose of assisting the evolution of power. Lucifer means light bringer. Temptation, the Luciferian principle, is that dynamic through which each soul is graciously offered opportunity to challenge those parts of itself that resist light. The Lucifer energy is represented in the Garden of Eden story by a snake, by the idea of a presence other than human that could tempt, but literally could not have dominion over the human being. The Lucifer energy tempts you, tempts the level of human being that is mortal. That is the five sensory. But the snake cannot destroy the soul. It can merely threaten that part of you that becomes too linked into the physical. The snake is of the earth. When you are too close to the earth, when you find yourself honoring the gods of the earth, and make earth your god and master, then so too you shall be bitten and smitten. I added that. The light bringing energy, the Lucifer energy that tempted the person Jesus of Nazareth, who became the Christ, and that tempted the person, right? That is. So yeah, so Jesus got tempted. That's a Garden of Eden. So let's state facts here. You got the Garden of Eden, it's about temptation. Like I said, they're here to tempt you, to pimp you. You got the Garden of Eden, she was tempted and pimped, right? Okay, check me. Then you got Jesus of Nazareth. He was walking down here. They was trying to tempt him and pimp him. He didn't fall for it, right? Right? So basically, what's happening, the same thing with these twin flame energies. When you do not go along with their program and their policy, then they want to do you like Jesus, right? They want to beat you, skeet you, and screech you, right? That part. So this is where you get your stripes from, because you're not going to fall into that temptation. So when you don't fall into temptation, what happens is they want to put you on probation, basically. Then they want to press you, and depress you. Okay, check me. Who else was tempted? It said Guatemala, and tempted to the person. Okay, Sanaraha, Siddhara, who became the Buddha, is the same energy that tempts you. It tempts the account to steal, right? The student to cheat, the spouse to do adultery. All right now. The human being to external power. It opposes the light of your immortal soul to the physical light of your personality, right? It sets before you the vertical path and the horizontal path. What is the nature of transformation? It is the compassionate way of temptation. Temptation is a gracious way of introducing each soul to his or her power. When you are seduced or threatened by external circumstances, you lose power. They gain power over you. With each choice that you make to align yourself with the energy of your soul, you empower yourself. This is how authentic power is acquired. It is built up step by step, choice by choice. It cannot be meditated or prayed into being. It must be earned. It must be earned. When you choose to release anger, for example, you create an energy template around which your experiences will form. This energy pattern will draw to the surface the anger within you in order that you can release it. When you choose to challenge and release a negative aspect, right, of yourself, that aspect comes to the foreground. Everything starts to serve that purpose. Your dreams show you the archetype dynamics of anger. You find yourself continually in situations that generate anger within you. Your life appears to be distorted around anger because that is the aspect of yourself that you have chosen to challenge, and the universe has responded to your choice with compassion. When you consciously evoke growing, consciously evoke wisdom, when you consciously evoke the parts of yourself that are not whole to come into the foreground of your life, with each reoccurrence of anger or jealousy or fear, you are given a choice to challenge it or you give into it. Each time you challenge it, it loses power and you gain power, you guys. Each time you are tempted to become angry or jealous or fearful and you challenge that feeling, you empower yourself. There will be no, that's why I told y'all, one of the ways is I don't give a fuck energy. Simba, get in here. I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't give a fuck. That's how you got to do this shit. There will be accumulation of strength inside the choices that you make did not require discipline and attention. So each time you are tempted to become angry or jealousy or jealous or fearful and you challenge that feeling, you empower yourself, you guys. There will be no accumulation of strength inside if the choices that you make did not require discipline and attention. Discipline and intention. Okay? If you decide that you cannot beat a temptation, what you are really doing is giving yourself permission to be irresponsible. The desires and impulses that you feel that you cannot resist, that you lack the power to overcome, are your addictions. And I'm going to add this, that keeps you in your restrictions. Your addictions keep you in your restrictions, right? Addictions are the wants of parts of your personality that are very strong and resist the energy of your soul. They are those aspects of your personality, of your soul incarnate, right? That are most in need of healing. They are your greatest inadequacies. Your addiction may be to food, sex, drugs, okay, anger, jealousy, competition, stealing, lying, hustling, prostitution, rituals, witchcraft, doing voodoo, all that. And that puts your mind on a vine, and then you can't become divine. This is what I'll be telling y'all. You may have more than one addiction in each instance. You cannot release the addiction until you understand the dynamic that underlines it. Beneath every addiction is the perception of power and external External as the ability to control and use the environment on others. Beneath every addiction is an issue of power. The journey to the soul. Okay, so let me tell y'all this real quick. So if you're trying to stop the cigarettes and the weed and the pills, you guys get you some detoxify. The detoxify is the one that when people go take when they to pass the drug test, but what they don't tell you that's how I did it. It wipes all that taste out your mouth and you can start over. So go get you some detoxify. You can get the detoxify or the ultimate mix, whatever. That's in a silver bottle. They're about $50 to $60, but go get you some detoxify and clean your system out. And if you're having a problem with your pH balance, okay, any problems with your vagina area, get you some charcoal. Take your charcoal, get your Chlorofresh and your chlorophyll. Okay? That's what you do. And it will take care of all that. Charcoal takes care of all that. Definitely if you own a lot of pills and drugs, charcoal takes care of that as well. Okay? They have charcoal pills, but go get you some chloroform and some Chlorofresh. The journey to the soul begins with understanding that we are drawn automatically as a species to come to terms with power. Each human being is experiencing the causes and effects of his own choices. His or her desires to fill in the empty, powerless places within him or her. This dynamic can be described in terms of insecure humanity, but that is just the obvious. The mechanics at work is the journey towards genuine, authentic empowerment. This is why each human being struggles so deeply with power. The lack of it, the acquisition of it, what it is really, how one should have it. Underlining every crisis, emotional, spiritual, physical, psychological, is the issue of power. Depending upon the lens that you wear to interpret your crisis, you will either step closer to your soul or closer to the earth. Okay? The journey to wholeness requires that you look honestly, openly, and with courage into yourself, into the dynamics that lie behind what you feel, my friend, what you perceive, what you value, and how you act. It is a journey through your defenses and beyond so that you can experience consciously the nature of your personality. Face what it has produced in your life and choose to change it. Okay? All right? Now, let's go back to here real quick. I'm going to let y'all go. Of course, the risk to those who would answer the call weigh heavily on the council members who advanced souls become bedazzled by the glamour of the earthly realm. This is what they're talking about when they say earth. These are two different books. Okay, advanced souls became the bedazzled by the glamour of the earthly realm or seduced by self-focus, right? Power, dark side energies that ran the risk of falling asleep for good, missing the window for return and recycling toward lower existence for millions of years before ever realizing another opportunity to advance towards source. Father, Jesus, Joshua, whatever you call him. They could indeed become a lost soul. So when they tempting you to pimp you, you guys got to make conscious choices because you will put yourself in jeopardy of becoming a lost soul. Okay? Thousands of years later, the human Bible would make reference to this phenomenon when it said, it says the Bible, this is what I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling y'all asses, get your asses back in Bible study, my dude. The truth of bits and pieces is hidden in that Bible. Get your ass back in Bible study in church. That's what I'm telling you. That should be your foundation, your roundation, your dedication. Do you understand? Shit, don't worry about what the pastor talking about. Shit, don't worry about what he's saying and what he doing, what he ain't doing, and if he ain't for real or not. The bottom line is you get for real in your heart and real your shit and get real with your shit. That's what it's about. Okay? Even the elect, it said, will be deceived if it was possible. So it said even the Bible made reference to this phenomenon when it said, and even the elect will be deceived. Theseus was confident, though he had foreseen that despite so much pain and suffering, a lot of pain and suffering, a number of brilliant lights would respond, would incarnate and would create shifts in the collective consciousness. And if this failed to stimulate significant movement within the remaining cycle of time, they would always activate the twin flames. The twin flame energy, so powerful and potent, had succeeded before in the face of adversity. Surely they could succeed again. Okay? Only if they answer the call. With the Adigerous twin, if I'm saying that right, you know what that is? That means Remember, we was connected, man, woman, penis, and vagina, right? I think we all should have been born with both parts myself. That's just my personal opinion. I think we all should have been born with both parts. And I think, and it's so funny because I'm listening to myself say that. That's how we were. So we were connected, man and the woman. So this is your twin, the female part of you, the male. You know what I'm trying to say? Back and forth. We're connected, or just your twin, right? Now check this out. Okay, so in order to certain where the true light could find its way back to the point of origin, all souls upon incarnation each agreed to pass through the veil of forgetfulness, and doing so forget their divine origins. All beings once on earth could only be helped if they asked for help. You got to ask for the help, of course, not remembering that such help even existed. Left them at a distinct disadvantage. The dark side, however, would benefit. The dark side, however, would benefit just so as long it could prevent all souls from remembering who they truly were. If the dark side could keep souls focused on the mundane, day-to-day matters, their desires for sex, food, shelter, conditional love, relationships, money, power, hair, eyelashes, looking good, it could maintain control. The dark side's greatest triumphs were in the engineering of religions around the beings of pure light who arrived periodically to stir the souls into remembrance. Okay? Let's say that shit again. Okay? Religion was here to stir the souls into remembrance. Religion became as one insightful human would one day note. The masses, coerced through the forces of fear, many men and women through the cycles of birth and and death. Okay, forgetting a little more time of what they held within them, the very God essence were seeking unsuccessfully in the external world. Nevertheless, the council have been surprised at just how effective the veil of forgetfulness have been in suppressing all knowledge of an individual history, language, and soul gifts. The inhabitants of the earth were oblivious to their God's strength and had to become to believe they had held a pathic place upon the earth as little more than a human ant, birthed into struggle until released until death. There was, for the most part, a life of misery and suffering, of clinging into and losing, of striking out, wounding, and return being wounded. Occasionally, some measure of conditional love was experienced, usually just enough to bring about the reproduction of the species. Presently, the projected spiritual path of earth inhabitants was desired, and nothing short of miracle was going to change that. The dark side for all in intensive matters, desperate to survive itself. When the guardians quarantined the lesser universe and the dark side turned away from source, they turned away from the Father, all dark energies lost access to the external and sustaining energies of the source. Incarnating souls, on the other hand, did not. Within each heart lie a tiny spark of God, of the one true source. It was this energy that the dark side required to maintain its form. So they need our energy to maintain its form of dominance of the realm. Without access to this energy, its collective power diminished and eventually fell. Yet ignorant sleeping population, that's what they call us, a ignorant, like a knowledge, sleeping population was an easy power source. But one only had to provoke an emotional outburst. Yeah, talked about that all the time. They have to provoke an emotional outburst of negativity. That could be anything. And an energetic food source, because that's their food, was released into the ethers for harvesting. That's how they harvest your energy. Since we talk about energy harvesting all the goddamn time, let me tell you how they harvest your energy. They harvest your energy to provoking some type of emotional outburst. Anger, negativity, jealous, drugs, whatever you addicted to, whatever you restricted to. This is what the demons eat off of in the ethers. You are food for them. That's how they harvest your energy. Okay? Harvest it was indeed where the sleeping humanity able to see the beings amongst them inhaling their ethers. They see here inhaling this shit, eating like a child does a hot apple pie. Mass panic and insanity was set in, perhaps an act of mercy. Few were those that could see, and those that talked openly about it or who were unable to control it became the clients of the medical profession. Lull back to sleep through the use of powerful So they put you back to sleep through psychotropic medications. At least there, such people were permitted to some degree of respite from the earthly jungle that surrounded them. This was the historical pattern for each of the human races that had grace on Earth. It would no doubt be the pattern that would repeat itself this sixth time around, unless, of course, toward the end of the cycle, when things mattered the most, shift in the human collective consciousness was achieved, right? Then the outcome would be different. Then, for the first time in Earth's grand history, a great percentage of the population may graduate from the depths of three-dimensional existence and burst forth into higher dimensions in full remembrance that of their return journey home. Okay. Right? He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not. Okay, so it says, he who is prudent, and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay, so when I tell you guys, you have to watch your thoughts. Oh, I wrote it in here. This is what I wrote it. Okay. So we talked about who gives a fuck energy. I wrote that down. Okay, be happy with your flappy pappies, right? Stay your asses off the plastic table. They buying wounds and uterus, right? Okay. They doing the blood rituals, all that shit. And the last but least, what I want to talk about and what's so sad about this is you have people like this that's helping them. Our women folk. It's helping them do this shit. You got a lot of women that's married to men that they don't like other men, but they rather for them to mess with another man than cheat on them with a woman because they're going to be taken care of. And so they know they go to these elite high places for these rituals and whatever they do. Okay. You got these doctors going in, sewing up these men's. I'm not going to even get into it. I can't even get into it like that. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. So a lot of the women is participating in the downfall and keeping the conscious collective asleep. They are. Because they know their husband is doing A, B, and C, but they don't care as long as they're being taken care of. And they also don't care because most of these bisexual masculines that's married, they married to mostly witches. That's who they married to. I actually feel sorry for y'all at the end of the day because I'm telling you, y'all gonna bust some shit wide open when it happens. So this is why I tell y'all, stay away from all that. So when you've been forced to accept, so the thing about your personality and your soul, you got to cultivate, you got to release, cultivate, and skate. Basically release that shit you got going on and cultivate more of this shit you got going on, okay? That's how you do that. That's how you do that. In order to become divine, you got to transform your mind off the vine, okay? So if you got flappy, and I'm talking about fat women, be happy with your flappy, man. Be happy with your flappies. I'm telling you, stay your ass off these tables because what they're doing is they taking your uterus. I guarantee you, we get to digging up some of these graveyards. I guarantee you, if you look at the DMV, they taking uterus. They taking wombs because they putting it in the man so he can have a baby. All right? So y'all got to be careful when you out here in these streets. You got to pay attention. My women folks, especially my black women, y'all got to pay attention. Should take them damn eyelashes off so your asses can see. Y'all got to pay attention. Because Felicia Johnson, that baby still ain't been found. And that hits home for us, for me, because she's from San Diego. Just like if somebody missing y'all hometown, it's just like that. You know, for some reason, it's just like that. You know what I mean? You ain't even got to know the person. It just feels like that. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine what happened to her. They taking these babies' uterus. That's what they doing with these young college girls missing all of a sudden and all this shit. The morgue, Spirit just said the morgue is doing it too. The morgue is doing it too. No, not the morgue, the coroner. What's the coroner? When they do they do an autopsy, whatever, they doing the coroner, gotta take everything out. They taking them uteruses, man, and they shipping that shit off. They selling that shit. Motherfuckers better wake the fuck up. Now in Oklahoma, I just found out they ain't even doing no more abortions down there. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, if you got bones like me, be happy with your Jones, baby. I'm telling you, keep going on, moving on. Ain't nothing wrong. Y'all gonna get fillers and all that shit and all. Stay off them tables. Stay off them tables. Anyway, that's it. That's Square Biz for today. And I'm just trying to show y'all a little easier way because there's so much stuff being discussed out here, and people think it's about giving to charity. People think it's about doing good for other people. No, it's not. It's about you releasing your anger. We all have something. We all have splinter personalities, right? You got to release that shit. And today is the 13th, and don't get it twisted. It's in this book right here. That's the Draconians and the Reptilians motherfucking number. Don't get it twisted. The 13th today. So y'all need to watch yourself, watch your energy. People going to try to tick you, pick you. They are. It's coming. Because it's the 13th. Because they need to eat. See, this is their birthday. Fuck your birthday. This is their birthday. So they need to eat today. So they're going to try to rile you up and gal you up with that energy. And they actually, you guys can't see them, but I see them all the time. They will sit here to see if they can pick you and wick you so they can eat. They need to eat. You got to starve these motherfuckers. This is why Father said fast on their ass. That's why he said that's what his fasting means. When you fast on their ass, they starve. They starve to death. Do you understand? Okay, so all I got to say, get your spiritual regimen, write yourself a spiritual prescription every day. Because every day they working on you 365 days. They working on us all the time. Put that Bible study in there. It's about that energy. Get the stumping. Look, old-fashioned stumping. I don't give a shit. Yoga, meditation, whatever. Anything that's gonna get your mind off that vine, that's what you do. All right, so Alfreda D gotta go, and I gotta get ready to go to class. But I had to say that. But yeah, they harvesting uteruses around here. This is what the hell they doing. Them uteruses cost. I looked it up, $25,000 to $20,000 a piece for a womb. Hell, my uterus may be somewhere in somebody. I'll be bullshitting. Yes, they're really trying to change the game. I'm sorry. They want men that they look like women but has a penis. I'm sorry. This is what they want. They can't stand the black woman. And that's for real, for real. And I got some more investigation on that since Father brought to my attention. They're trying to destroy the black woman energetically and physically. Bullshit. And this is nothing new. But they really trying to get to it. Now they trying to change the whole game to the point where they don't give a shit about the white sisters no more. No, they don't give a shit about them either. There's a whole hidden agenda here, man, and it's sad. Nobody need to get offended or bended, but check this out. It's transgenders. It's the gay population. It's the transgenders. It's running this shit. And some of my gay folks, y'all know what I'm talking about, because everybody that's gay is not in the agenda. They're not. That's not what I'm saying. So y'all know what I'm talking about. So I got gay friends. You know what I'm talking about. They trying to get rid of the feminine energy. They killing us. They taking the uterus. They using us as parts in food and shit. Man, I'm telling you. It's like Silence of the motherfucking Lambs. Taking your eyes and shit. Everything. Voice box. Everything. And I'm going to have to be careful. But when I get to talking like this, because I already know they on me. They been on me. I ain't talking about nobody on YouTube. I ain't worried about y'all small time. Nah, we got some upper lease, some higher lease going on. They know exactly who the fuck I am. Stop playing. I just got to tell my daughter, watch yourself, man. Fuck that. And I mean that shit. Watch yourself, man. I don't give a shit. Watch yourself. We put her in kickboxing and all that shit. Her daddy wasn't playing with her. No, he wasn't. She's been in that shit since she was fucking See, he started her at 7. She didn't stop that shit until she was 20. I'm not even lying. She gonna get her ass out some shit, I bet you. Yeah, you guys got little girls. You need to put them in some defense classes and teach them how to protect themselves, man, and direct themselves and correct themselves. You need to start teaching your girls. We on the food chain. Sex trafficking. Yeah, they taking these babies' uterus. That's exactly what they're doing. Taking their wombs. Because where the fuck you get a womb from to put in another man, to put in a man? Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. You guys have a good one. Take care. This is our for the day at the VIP. Raise your vibe in order to survive, man. That was just another tip. This was some square biz. We'll continue it when I find out some good pointers, because I don't want to give y'all a bunch of stuff. I want you just to focus on releasing some shit, shifting your own shit, and don't let nobody shake your shit at the end of the day. That's what it's about. Okay? Self-police yourself so you can release yourself, fam. Okay? It takes time, but you will get there. Trust me. If you keep your attention on you and what you're trying to cultivate, you'll get there. It's not easy. You're gonna have your dark days. Don't get it twisted. You're gonna have your dark days. When them dark days come, you got to break out of it. You got to bust out. You got to know that there's help. You got to go within and ask for your help, right? Okay? You guys need to start putting on those emerald tablets at night. Yeah, emerald tablets. Start listening to that. Start putting it on until you can understand, till your soul recognize that. It helps, especially if you got thoughts all day. If you can't stop thinking and stinking, put on the emerald tablets at night. I guarantee you're going to wake up. You ain't going to be thinking and stinking about shit. I don't know how it works, but it just does. All right? Gotta go. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Simba.